You're now tuned into the Lady Charmaine Live Show, and I'm your host, Lady Charmaine. And as always, we got another great interview for you today. So tell me, when you think of movies like 12 Years a Slave or Luke Cage, Radio, Desperate Housewives, or even one of my favorites, Love and Basketball, maybe only one name should come to mind. And I tell you who it is coming up right after this. My guest today is an Oscar nominee, plus she's an award-winning actress with Emmys, Golden Globes, and even Screen Actors Guilds to her name. And you can also catch her in the anticipated upcoming remake of The Lion King. And she is here today to talk about her new Netflix movie called Juanita. Help me welcome to the Lady Charmaine Live Show, Miss Alfre Woodward. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be with you.
No, I'm happy to have you because I'm going to let you know you are one of my favorite actresses. Let me run them down to you. Cicely Tyson, Alfre Woodward, Viola Davis, and Miss Regina King. And so I have two so far of my foe on the show, so I'm really happy to have you on the show.
That's good company.
Absolutely. Now, Alfre, I finally get to ask you a question I've always wanted to ask you, and here it is. Where did your name derive from? It's not Alfred, it's Alfre. So where did your parents come up with your name?
My godmother was a Christian Science practitioner, and she had prayed about, she knew she was going to be godmom. She said she had prayed about a name for this child for, the months that I was incubating, and it came to her in a waking dream. She had never thought about it, but the root of it appears to be all free, Allfree.
Oh.
And she pronounced it out aloud, Alfre, Alfre.
Beautiful story behind the name. I wasn't expecting that, but that is a beautiful story. A beautiful story behind the name. Now, I know you are you're going to be in the upcoming remake of The Lion King. So I wanted to talk about that because we know everybody's excited about it. So tell us real quick about the role you're going to be playing.
I'll play Simba's mom, Surabhi, and I am very excited about it. It's such, it is a landmark film in the lives of especially people who have raised children. My kids were very small, and when we first saw it, and it was a great way to talk about the circle of life when Mufasa is tricked and gets done in by the stampede, and every time a play would open anywhere in the States, we would go to see it. And I am still excited. My kids are 25 and 27. They're still excited that I'm going to be Surabhi. So it is a film, I think, that gives us a space in which to talk about to talk about our existence and the reasons for it and purpose. So I'm excited to do that.
And next, you are going to be in a brand new movie on Netflix coming out on Friday, March the 8th. Tell us about Juanita and the character that you play, Juanita.
Oh, Juanita is such a joy. And right now, we all need a lot of joy and a lot of lifting. And our Juanita does that. She is a woman over 50. We call it a coming of age of a woman of a certain age story. And it reiterates that it's never too late to come of age. She has put people first all her life. She has just been there and put her own needs last in line. She has 3 children who are just, they're basically deadbeat. I mean, they're like all of our kids. They say things like, oh, you're not using the car. You have nothing to do this weekend. I'm going to take the car. Or, here, hold the baby. I'm going shopping. And it's like, what if I had something to do? And so she just decides an incident happens that sort of spurs this on. But she scrapes together all her little money. She works as a nurse's aide at a hospital. She scrapes together her money, puts her finger on the map, goes to the Greyhound station, and takes off, and her world opens up for her. She has adventure, she has romance, she has spirituality. It's a lot of hilarity because she is definitely a fish out of water in Paper Moon, Montana. But it is, it's poignant. It's beautiful. And, my son, who's 25, loved it, although he cringed at the love scene.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, come on, Dad wrote it for me. Of course, he goes, yeah, that's even worse. But, he loved it. I have young Latina friends who are 16. They thought it was the best thing they'd ever seen. And certainly women and men of a certain age think, oh, yes, this is talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I think most people, they might go do a little safe vacation with a whole group of people sometime, but we never say, what do I feel like doing? Let me get outside my comfort zone. And there's nothing more liberating and refreshing than doing that, whether you're going to the other side of town to go to a Cambodian restaurant or a French restaurant, whatever you haven't eaten before, whether you drive to the next state on your own without all your crew with you to make you feel like you haven't left home. It's to go out so that discovery can happen to you.
Right.
And we owe that to ourselves. And so I'm hoping that's what Juanita will bring. It certainly will bring a lift in a time when all of us need lifting right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And one of my last questions, since you and Viola Davis have similar looks in Hollywood, was she ever considered your competition for roles in Hollywood?
What do you mean similar look?
Because when you look at women in Hollywood, if they say, okay, I want to cast a woman, I'm looking for someone of a particular age, like you said, maybe dark skin, because you guys have similar looks. And I hear a lot of women when they come on the show, because they had someone that kind of favored them a little bit, sometimes they were considered their competition in Hollywood. And some women have come on the show and they have told me who their competition was in Hollywood. When they were going to an audition, they would say, oh, I know she's going to get it, because every time I go into an audition, when she's here, she always gets the role. And so that's what I wanted to ask you as well, because you guys do look like, if I was casting and if I was looking for women, I would have you and Viola both come in, because if I was looking for a particular look, you guys have the same particular look. If I'm looking for somebody who maybe was in their 50s or later 50s, maybe dark skin, shorter hair, you guys could play the similar role, because you both are dynamic actresses. And so was she ever considered your competition for roles in Hollywood?
I think both Viola and I are not hired because of our look. Mm-hmm. We're both hired because of our craft, because of our abilities. And our style of acting is very different. So I don't know, but I don't do competition. I don't think of competition. If somebody else does that looks on us that way, that's how they look out of their eyes. You know what I feel like? I feel like if there's 100 roles offered in a year, then Viola and I should be up. Viola and I and every other working African American actor should be up for those. Okay, I'll give all the cake to Queen of England. They can have Queen Elizabeth, but if it's not Queen Elizabeth, then we should be considered for those roles. So this idea that there's, that there are roles that it has to say, oh, black woman, this age, this height, this persuasion. That is a false. That's a bogus sort of boundary that the industry might want to put on us, but we certainly don't put it on ourselves.
But that's good to know. That's fantastic to know. Well, Viola, I was going to say Viola, because I was talking about Viola. Miss Alfre, thank you so much for coming on the show. And I want to remind the audience to be sure to tune in on Friday, March 8th to the Netflix movie Juanita, starring Miss Alfre Woodward. And again, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, I am happy to come on. And everybody, Juanita is a gift to you, so open it up.
Absolutely. And again, thank you so much. Bye-bye. And again, don't forget to tune in to the Netflix film starring Miss Alfre Woodward. It is called Juanita. Make sure you go and check out the trailer because you're going to see Mr. Sexy Chocolate. He goes by the name of Mr. Blair Underwood. He is also in the film. So make sure you go and check it out right there Friday, March the 8th on Netflix.